What's up everybody, Ramey here, and today what we're talking about is the workout program 531. We're going to talk about what it is, what are my thoughts about it, and what are the advantages, disadvantages of it. Do I think you should do it? So this is a very difficult video for me. The reason this is a difficult video is because 531 is not just like a workout program. It's not like I just picked a workout program and it's like, okay, on Monday you do this, Tuesday you do this, Thursday you do this, Friday you do this, and I'm reporting the results. That is not what 531 is. 531 is not that kind of workout program. 531 is a methodology. I'm not even sure the correct word, maybe an ontology for working out and for structuring your workout. So it's not one single workout. So what I'm specifically trying to review is the whole component of it, not just what I did. And what did I do? Well, first of all, if you don't know who I am, I've been working out, I've been lifting weights for 25 years. I played a number of sports, worked out mostly for sports, a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like many years of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now I primarily am a surfer, so I'm working out a lot for surfing, doing a lot of strength, explosive, sports stuff. Been working out for many years, tried every workout under the sun for the most part, I can tell you that. But I've done 531. I started it with the intention to try it for a few months, ended up doing it for almost 2 years. And I'll talk about like why I'm not doing it now, like why I switched and stuff. But I want to kind of get to that, and I want to talk about the workout. So what is the 531 like workout? What does that even mean? So 531, first of all, there are books to buy, and I will right away recommend if you want to do 531, go ahead and purchase 531 Forever. That is the book. It's the last one. The guy who created it, Jim Wendler, that's the last book he has written up to this point. He's the guy who created the workout. Jim Wendler is a former West Side barbell, strongest guys in the world, Big Jim. He's a former West Side guy, created this workout for sports people and people who want to work out forever and get big and strong and all that good stuff. He wrote the book, he created 531. So I 100% tell you to buy the book if you're interested in it. But basically what it is, as I said, it's a philosophy, and let's kind of talk about what that means. So when we talk about 531, as I said, it's not, people like look online and find like a website and they're like, oh, this is what 531 is. It's like just like a workout, like a list of exercises with some percentages. It's like, that's not what 531 is. So what 531 is 531, first of all, the way 531 workouts are set up is that you have your core exercises. There are 4 core exercises that you do. And you might do one, and you only do one a day kind of thing, but you have 4 exercises that you'll do. And you start out with a core exercise. Let's say a core exercise is bench press. And the core exercises are bench, deadlift, squat, overhead press, the big 4. So you do a core exercise. Then you do assistance work for your core exercise. So you might do like your heavy sets of bench on bench day, and then you might do like 5 by 10, like 5 sets of 10 reps at a certain percentage of assistance work on bench day, accessory work on a bench day. Then you have your assistance exercises, and they vary based on which 531 template you choose. Could be like 50 reps of push, 50 reps of pull exercises, 50 reps of core, 50 reps of leg exercise. So let me give you an example of that. So you do your bench, your core. You do your accessory for bench, like 5 by 10 bench. Then you do your assistance, which could be 50 reps of pulling exercises. So I could do like pull downs, rows, biceps for pull, things like that. For push exercises, I could do triceps, shoulders, some other bench, dips, that kind of stuff. Then for core, we've got and leg, we can do like reverse hypers, GHD abs, GHD hyper extensions, lunges, all that good kind of stuff. And that's how you structure each workout. It's based around that. Now, the book 531 Forever includes like, I don't even know how many, but it includes like 100 different ways to create a workout around that philosophy. Depending on your goal. So what is your goal? My goal is to get big. Okay, then do this. My goal is to be strong. Okay, then do this. My goal is for sports. Okay, then do this. 100 different templates for 100 different things that you might want to do. You can really just go on forever. What you do, you do these templates for a cycle. Cycles can be anywhere from 4 to 7 weeks. And basically what that means is that if you choose a 4-week cycle, it's 3 weeks of lifting where you ramp up. Let me show you an example of what that ramp up looks like. You start out with lower weights, work your way up. By week 3, week 4, you take a deload. Sometimes they're 7-week stretches. It just kind of depends how you're going to set it up in the book because it depends on what you're going to do for your body. And I'll talk about what I did. But that's the philosophy around 531. And I'm not going to get into more about what is 531 because there's so many resources out there. If you're interested, go read about it. There's tons of stuff by Jim Wendler, everyone else. And then go ahead and buy Forever, learn about it, and start doing it. Okay, let's talk about what I did. Then let's talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, and in that I'll talk about like who I recommend this for, who I do not recommend this for. All right, so what I did. So I chose to do what's called one of the templates, and this template's online. Jim Wendler has put it online, so I'm not worried about like giving something that's secret in the book or something like that. Everything is actually online for 531 if you search hard enough. The book just like has it all in one place really easy. So it's super worth getting because of that for organization and stuff. But anyway, so here's what I did. What I did is I did 2 different templates. And basically what they were is one was called 531 BBB and 531 FSL. So those were the 2 templates that I chose, and I'll kind of put them up on the screen. You can kind of see like what those templates look like because those are plastered online everywhere, so I don't feel bad like showing the workouts that I did. So I did those 2 templates. Remember, there are like hundreds of different ways to do this. And I had a lot of success with my strength and a little bit with size as well. I'm not like trying to put on weight, so I'm not bulking. I never do that I'm not like not big into that, more about like eating and health. So that's kind of like always my goal. So strength has always been more of my goal, which has changed a little bit. So I'll talk about that. But I did those workouts. I followed the book, followed how you're supposed to do them based on the cycles. And I really enjoyed doing 531. It shows you. So here's what I really like about the workout, and then let me talk about what I don't like. So what I like about 531 is that it's so specific. Like it's this philosophy, but when you get down into the nuts and bolts, you can plan a year's worth of workouts pretty much. You might have to change weights as you go, but I can know like what exercises and when and what and how many reps I'm supposed to do for the whole entire year. Now I was planning out about 3 months at a time, and I did a lot of changing of exercises and all that stuff. But I would plan out about 3 months of a time on Google Sheets because that's what I use to track my workouts. And I liked the fact that I could really plan things. I could tell you what I was going to do in a month from now on Tuesday, how many reps I was going to do, what weight, how many sets, how many reps, what exercise. Like that's pretty cool, and I like that. So it's very structured. So one of the things I really like about 531 is that it's huge, so it's this umbrella that fits everyone. B, when you learn how to set up and create your program, it is very customizable. Let me give you some examples of that. So that customizability is, hey, I can't do overhead press, which I can't do overhead press. I dislocated this shoulder skateboarding on a half pipe 20 years ago. And my shoulder is very unstable. I mean, I do jiu-jitsu and surf with it, and it's fine, but like when I'm holding weight up here, like this is the worst position for someone with a dislocate. Overhead press doesn't work for me, but I can do Viking press. So I just swapped it out for overhead press. So you can do there's lots of customizability. Oh, I can't do shoulder press? Okay, instead of shoulder press, you do Viking press. Instead of bench, you do incline. Instead of deadlift, you use the trap bar. Instead of squats, you use the safety squat bar, that kind of stuff. But then in your push-pull exercises, it's like, like some days I would do like rows, some days I do like pull downs, some days I do single arm rows. You kind of can pick and throw it around and pick what you want to do. The key is you're really focusing on those 4 core exercises. And everything else is kind of like assistance or accessories to that. So the other thing I like about 531, there's a beginner section. So if you're a beginner in 531, it teaches you how to do everything. The workout, it teaches people from a beginner, even someone that's been working out for a while, how to really create a workout program yourself. It teaches you how to set up progression, some type of progressive overload. It teaches you how and when it's appropriate to deload and why you do it. It also teaches you how to increase and decrease, when to increase and decrease in weights and deal with points that you get stopped. You know, when you're lifting, your bench isn't going up anymore week to week kind of thing, or cycle to cycle. It teaches you all those components. So those are the big things that I really like about the workout. 531 is also another big thing I do like about it is it's designed for power building and sports. What does that even mean? So the term power building, some people really don't like it. I personally do, is that it's a little bit of strength and a little bit of bodybuilding combined into one, which kind of makes it perfect for a lot of people because they're not sure what they want to do. Which I think is great because as you do 531, you can kind of realize, I really like the strength aspects of this workout. I really like the bodybuilding what do you like? Like it helps you. Now, I know there are 100 ways to do 531, but kind of that customizability and the fact that it's really designed for power building and sports is also probably a drawback of 531. What do I mean by that? 531, it becomes this jack of all trades, master of none. I think that's a really good way to describe it. Jack of all trades, master of none. What do I mean by that? Basically what I mean is that it's great, power building is great, and all the different templates of 531 are super cool, but if I start getting focused on powerlifting, for example, there are a bunch of templates in 531 I can start doing that are geared more towards strength and powerlifting type workouts, but I don't think that following the philosophy is going to be as good as a specific, just going over and doing a strength-based powerlifting workout. Same thing for bodybuilding. Like I can start doing different things in 531 geared towards getting bigger and bodybuilding, but at its core, it always has that strength focus and becomes this jack of all trades, master of none, whereas a bodybuilding workout is going to be better for someone that really wants to focus on just bodybuilding. And so that's where 531, I think it casts a wide net, but I think when people want to start getting specific, I think they're going to fall off of it a little bit. And I think that's where that's a drawback of 531. So let me talk about some other things about 531 that I liked and did not like, kind of who it's for. So first of all, I did recommend that you buy the books. And one of the drawbacks to the books is I don't think there was an editor in the books. Like the last book, even specifically Forever, which is the better one, the best one, and the one I think you should buy. There's a lot of mistakes in it. Things aren't explained well. There's no explanation. The author Jim Wendler will just say a term and not tell you what it means and never describe what it means, and you just have no idea. And you have to go online and find it on Reddit, what he's talking about. He doesn't explain what it is. He just, I don't know. I don't know. It's no one read it first to tell him that kind of stuff. There's no table of contents. There are some odd things he says that are contradictory or seem contradictory as you read through the workouts, which makes it a little confusing. And I don't think they're actually contradictory in of itself, but they seem contradictory as you're reading them. For example, sometimes he'll say don't do this, don't do leg core, and another time he'll say do leg core, but he was referring to a workout, and you weren't sure what he was really referring to, and it becomes a little confusing. So I think there are some issues with the book. I do still think the book is worth it, and I would buy it, because buying the book and then going and finding the answers you can't figure out online is the way to go for this. I probably read that book 20 times. But yeah, it was like written by someone that didn't have an editor or anything like that for sure. So I would like to see that happen, like a new book with that, but there's just not. So that's one of the drawbacks. Another drawback of 531, and I'll get to some more positive stuff too. Another drawback of 531 is that I do think, given Wendler's background on powerlifting, that there's almost too much of a focus on the strength part of power building and not enough on necessarily the bodybuilding part. Now I can always do and add more sets and reps to 531. It's something you can always do, but I think if you don't want to do heavy weights, if you don't want to lift heavy weights, like do between 1 and 5 reps of a core exercise like bench press, 531 is probably not for you. Because it demands that. It does demand you at least do 5 reps in 5s Pro. I've heard of 8s Pro and 10s Pro, which means like for your core exercise you do 5 reps or 8 reps or 10 reps, but he really specifies 5 or less. And I think that, I think if you're not interested in that heavy weight, lifting that heavy because it is draining on your body, then 531 is probably not for you. Now, some of the positive things, and I've already said a bunch of positive things about it, but I do like that 531 has lots of different rep schemes. Like it has heavy and light, like so you really vary things up. Like you can run 531 forever. If someone just plainly asked me like, what workout should I do? and I don't know anything else about them other than they're like want to lift, they're interested in lifting weights, I would just say 531. Like, because there's a beginner version, there's an intermediate version, there's advanced, and you can really run it forever. It's set up to be run forever. So why did I stop? So let's talk about that, and then I'm going to kind of end this, wrap this up. Because this is just such a large video, and there's just so much to this, to 531, that I can't talk about in a video. But so I'm just trying to give my review and opinions for people who are considering starting it. So why did I stop? Well, I got to the point where I did increase all my lifts, so I was happy about that. But I was getting to the point where I felt like I'm in my mid 40s, like I'm in my lower 40s, getting to mid 40s, and I felt like the weights that I was lifting, I felt like it was too heavy. I felt like I was just doing too heavy. Let me give you an example. My deadlifts were getting to like sets of like 350. And that I weigh 175 pounds, and deadlifting 350 for 3 sets of 5, but around that weight, like 330 to 355 or whatever, for 3 sets of 5, and then doing 5 sets of 10 deadlift, or even 3 sets of 10 deadlift, taxed my system so much that it became very difficult to recover. Like after squat days, I couldn't sit for 3 days. And I wasn't getting used to it. It was just too stressful on my system, and the weights were getting too heavy where I was starting to get injuries from the heavy weights, and I knew I was going to just get seriously injured at some point. My lower back started to kill 24/7 between squat and deadlift. My low back just started killing. I had to completely cut squats out and start using the trap bar a little more for deadlift. I'm back to everything, but I've had to really take some time. But just my joints in general, like lifting heavy weights like that. My elbow tendonitis started flaring up from the heavy bench. Like when you start lifting that heavy consistently, it starts to really take a toll on you as you age. And for me, it was taking enough of a toll that I thought I really need to change things up. I need to figure out, I wasn't necessarily accomplishing my goals. I kind of decided in the last year that me getting stronger and deadlifting the 500 pounds I always wanted to deadlift, it's probably like unrealistic for my body. And it's not worth the risk of injury for me, that's all. And I thought, you know what, I probably should be focusing on health and actually getting bigger versus the health and the strength side that I've been focusing on for so long. So I decided to kind of just go on a different path and cut down my reps, focus on increasing sets, increasing reps, not heavy stuff, focusing on sets of like 10 to 20, 20 to 30 to build muscle. So that's just, I kind of like shifted my philosophy a little bit, at least for now. I want to give it like 6 months to a year of doing that and then reevaluate. I'm going to be back to 5-3-1 at some point. I just needed to kind of pull back a little bit. I was just getting these nagging injuries that just kind of weren't going away and starting to stall in my weights and it just became a lot. As you start lifting more and more, 5-3-1 is very taxing on your system. Any kind of powerlifting workout will be, and this is geared more towards that than bodybuilding, even though I can shift it and make it my own. So those were kind of my thoughts. But as I said, like if someone were to ask me what workout should I do, I think 5-3-1 is an excellent, one of the best suggestions for them, because they're just going to learn. They're going to learn. If they just do 5-3-1 for 6 months and learn all the components of it, when someone sends them their workout plan, which is usually like a list of exercises, they're gonna be like, well, where's your deload? Where's your like? They're gonna know right away that like that's not even good. Like they're gonna be able to tell what's a good program versus a bad one pretty quickly, and that's what I love about 5-3-1. So should you give it a try? If you're thinking about it, dude, just do it. Start doing 5-3-1. There's plenty of apps out there that are free if you can't afford it, but I would suggest just buying the book. I think you'll enjoy the progression, enjoy how it works out. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on 5-3-1, how you did it. I hope I did a good job of explaining it, because I know it's a difficult thing to explain in a video. Hope I did a good job. All right, later everybody.